Society. A student with high honors will be studying chemical engineering. Next is Jake Davison. Jake is the captain of the team, is a junior, is a talent identification program scholar, hopes eventually to become involved in politics. And rounding out the Lapeer East team is Katie Anderson. Katie's a junior, plays summer softball. She is active with the marching and the symphony bands. National Honor Society member, will be going into pre-law, or hopes to go into pre-law at the University of Michigan, and then major in law at an Ivy League school with a minor in creative writing. Those are our players from Lapeer East. The team is coached by Jeff Lorenz, and alternates from Lapeer are Pat Hinkst, Mike Glasby, and Robbie Halleck. We welcome all of you to this quarterfinal round, as we welcome our team from North Branch. And there we have Chris Pratt. Chris plays in the band. He's active in philosophy club, enjoys writing poetry, plays in a blues band, is a National Merit semifinalist and a PATS award winner, is looking at Michigan Christian College and majoring in English and minoring in philosophy. Captain of the North Branch team is Bob Poplinski. Bob is a senior, plays golf. He's in the band, jazz band, enjoys table tennis, ice hockey, roller hockey, also plays in a blues band. Winner of the Ray Kroc Award, is also a class salutatorian, and will be attending Michigan State and studying music. Next is Gregory Gonzalez. Greg is a senior at North Branch, a member of the philosophy club, plays soccer. He's active with Spanish club, ice hockey, enjoys sledding. He has been accepted to the pre-law program at Michigan State. And rounding out the North Branch team is Jim Schleicher. Jim is a junior, member of the band, National Honor Society, drama club, and chess club. Plays golf, pong, and hockey, has academic letter, member of the honor roll, will be attending Michigan State as well, and he will major in biochemistry. Those are our players from North Branch High School. The team is coached by Gordon Winther. Alternates today are Matt Higgins, John Stalker, Josh Meyer, and Adam Grenke. As always, High School Challenge is judged by Barb Powers of Genesee Intermediate School District. Laquita Tucson Green is our timekeeper, scorekeeper for this game. Teams are ready to go. Here are your rules for round one. I'll ask you a series of questions worth 10 points apiece. The player buzzing first may answer when I recognize you. If you're correct, your team scores the 10 points. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a shot at the same question. Remember, you may interrupt me at any time I'm asking a question. There's no point penalty if you're incorrect. However, at that point, I'll repeat the entire question for the other team. Good luck. Here we go. Theoretically, the physical properties of an ideal gas depend only on the energy of motion of the gas molecules. What do scientists call energy of motion? Bob, North Branch.
Kinetic energy.
That's correct. Sherlock Holmes had his Dr. Watson. What detective had Jonathan Higgins? Katie, Lapeer East.
Poirot?
That's incorrect. You may take it, North Branch. North Branch, Bob.
Simon Templar.
It's also incorrect. You guys spend too much time reading and not enough time watching TV. Thomas Magnum is the answer. Here's your next toss-up. This small New York town was the site of the first women's gym, North Branch.
Seneca Falls?
Seneca Falls is correct. Published in 1892, Barrack Room Ballads contains the poems The Road to Mandalay, If, and Bob, North Branch.
Kipling.
Kipling is correct. According to his business card, he was a second-hand furniture. Rachel, Lapeer East.
Al Capone?
Al Capone is correct. Although it's ranked only 39th of the 50 states in area, it makes up almost half of New England. Jake, Lapeer East.
Maine?
Maine is correct. The saying, hitch your wagon to a star, comes from his essay, Civilization, written while he was editor of The Dial. Who was this transcendentalist? Bob, North Branch.
Emerson.
Emerson is correct. In 1806, he killed Charles Dickinson in a duel for insulting his wife. Jake, Lapeer East.
Andrew Jackson?
Andrew Jackson is correct. In 1648, Johann Glauber invented a substance which was used primarily for explosives. Jake, Lapeer East.
Gunpowder?
That's incorrect. In 1648, Johann Glauber invented a substance which was used primarily for explosives. He called it aqua fortis, or strong water. Its formula is HNO3. What is it? Jim, North Branch.
Nitric acid?
Nitric acid is correct. It falls 50 days after Easter and commemorates the descent of the Holy Spirit upon the apostles. What is this religious holiday? Chris, North Branch.
Passover.
Passover's incorrect. Lapeer East. Lapeer East, Katie.
Yom Kippur?
Also incorrect. Pentecost is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. Before President Nixon created this agency Jake, Lapeer East.
The Environmental Protection Agency.
That's the correct answer. In the 16th century, the French mathematician François Viet began to use letters of the alphabet to represent Jake, Lapeer East.
Algebra.
Algebra is what I'm looking for. It's the last name of Tom, Ruthie, Winfield, and Rose of Sharon in John Steinbeck's The Grapes. Chris, North Branch.
Jode.
Jode is correct. Between 1948 and 1952, the population of this country doubled. Most of the new citizens were immigrants from Russia and Eastern Europe. What was this new country in the Middle East? Jim, North Branch.
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem is incorrect. Lapeer East, Jake.
Israel.
Israel is the correct answer. In physics, it can refer to the scattering of light by reflection from a rough surface, the transmission of light through a translucent material, or the intermingling of substances as a... Jim, North Branch.
Diffusion?
Diffusion is the word. Your next toss-up, teams. This 11-letter word comes from the Latin word for mask. Everyone has one. It's your most distinctive quality. What's the word? Katie, Lapeer East.
Personality?
Personality is the word. The first ones commissioned in the United States were Jedediah Preble, Artemus Ward, Seth Pomeroy, John Thomas, and William Heath. What military rank were they the first to hold? Jake, Lapeer East.
General.
General is the answer. Your next toss-up. If we shadows have offended, Jake, Lapeer East.
Shakespeare.
That's incorrect. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. What Shakespearean play ends with these lines? Chris, North Branch.
Midsummer's Night's Dream.
That's correct. This nation will celebrate its 25th anniversary this year. In 1971, after a war between... Jake, Lapeer East.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is correct. Its nucleus contains 112 protons and 165 neutrons. It's the heaviest element yet created. Which element is it? Katie, Lapeer East.
Uranium?
That's incorrect. You may take it, North Branch. North Branch, Jim.
Undotium?
It's also incorrect. It is element 112. It was discovered in March. It still has no name. I love those kind of things. Here's your next toss-up. The 1953 film Buona Devil was your basic B movie and completely forgettable, except for a new gimmick. What was the... Jake, Lapeer East.
3D.
3D is correct. It begins in Chicago and ends in Santa Monica. After crossing Jake, Lapeer East.
Route 66.
Route 66 is correct. There are actually 1,024 bytes in a kilobyte. A megabyte is a kilobyte, or 1,024 squared. How many bytes are in a megabyte? Time's up. 1,048,576 is the answer. Your next toss-up. He dedicated his Dante Symphony to Wagner and his Faust Symphony to Berlioz. Who was this romantic composer? Was it Mendelssohn, Schumann, Liszt, or Chopin? Chris, North Branch.
Schumann.
That's incorrect. Lapeer East, Katie?
List.
Liszt is the correct answer. And that's our buzzer, ending round one of this quarterfinal match. And in a very well-played quarter and tight match, North Branch does trail at this point. So North Branch, you have the first opportunity at round two. As you know, that's our lightning round. I'm about to give you a choice of 3 categories. Once you've selected, you'll have 60 seconds to answer up to 10 questions in that category. Remember, you may consult during this round. You don't have to buzz in. But I'll only be accepting the answers from Bob, the team captain. We'll give you 10 points for each correct answer, a 20-point bonus if all 10 are correct. North Branch, once your 60 seconds are up, Lapeer East, you'll have 30 seconds to answer any question they missed, passed on, or didn't get to. North Branch, your choices for this game are Poetry's Greatest Hits, The Round is Over, or Perfectly Scientific.
The round is over.
Okay, this round will be over if you can identify these words and phrases that start with O-V-E-R, over. Here we go, we begin with number 1. Both stocks and drugs can be sold this way.
Over the counter.
That's correct. According to Dorothy's song, it's where the land of Oz is.
Over the rainbow.
Over the rainbow.
Correct. In the 19th century, it ran from St. Louis to California.
Overland Pass.
Incorrect. To overtake and then repair completely.
Overcome.
Incorrect. Song by George M. Cohan, popular during World War I.
Over there.
Correct. Piece of clothing that is the title of a short story by Gogol.
Overcoat.
Correct. What a dentist calls upper teeth that protrude over the lower.
Overbite.
Correct. First 4 words of the Quezon song, the U.S. Army anthem.
Pass.
It's where Goldie Hawn falls in her...
Overboard.
That's correct. The hotel in Stephen King's novel, The Shining.
Overland Hotel.
Incorrect. And that's 10 questions. 6 are correct for 60 points. Lapeer East, we reset our clock to 30 seconds here. Remember, all your answers are going to begin with the letters O-V-E-R. Lapeer East, here we go. First, in the 19th century, it ran from St. Louis to California.
Overland Trail.
Correct. To overtake and then repair completely.
Overhaul.
Correct. First 4 words of the Quezon.
Overhill, Overdale.
That's correct. The hotel in Stephen King's novel, The Shining.
Oh, I got 10 seconds here.
I don't know.
Overview.
Nice try. Overlook. Okay, 30 points for you on your side, Lapeer East, and now you may select between Poetry's Greatest Hits or Perfectly Scientific.
Science one.
I like perfectly scientific. Perfectly scientific.
Okay, to be perfectly honest, this quiz is all about science and math, and perhaps you've guessed that all the answers begin with the letters P-E-R. For 10 points each, identify these perfectly scientific terms. We begin with number 1. H2O2 is hydrogen what?
Peroxide.
Peroxide.
Correct. A line through a point P at right angles to a line L.
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
Correct. Dmitry Mendeleev created the first one in 18...
Periodic chart.
Correct. A plant that grows for more than 2...
Perennial.
Correct. The point in the moon's orbit when it's closest to Earth.
Perihelion.
Incorrect. The point in the Earth's orbit when it's closest to the sun.
Perihelion.
Correct. A ratio or fraction expressed as a number over 100.
Percent.
Correct. How your digestive system moves the food along.
Pass.
Yeah.
The different groups in which members of a set can be arranged.
Period.
Incorrect. The constantly frozen ground of the Siberian
Permafrost.
tundra.
Permafrost.
That's correct, and that's all 10. You score 70 points with 7 correct. We'll reset to 30. And once we've done that, I remind you, North Branch, all answers begin with the letters P-E-R. And we're set, and here we go. The point in the moon's orbit when it's closest to the Earth.
Perigee.
Correct. How your digestive system moves the food along.
Peristalsis.
Correct. The different groups in which members of a set can be arranged.
Permutation.
That's correct. So you score your 30 points. On your half of that round, a lot of points scored. We'll total them all up and be back for some extra credit right after this.
On a beautiful island in the Caribbean, beaches are disappearing. Seawalls are crumbling. Could it be an early sign of global warming?
So all this was land around?
All this was land. Yeah, all that is land, all that is land.
Is Trinidad drowning? Next time on The New Explorers.
Hello, I'm Clarence Page. Join us for part 2 of the series, The New Urban Renewal. This time we'll be looking at programs to teach personal responsibility and business enterprise to children on the brink. The goal, curbing crime rates and welfare dependency by teaching the magic of the marketplace to kids in the hood. We call it Investing in the Next Generation. I hope you'll join us.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, as you can see, we've got a high-scoring game going right now, and this is our extra credit round, so anything can happen. Teams, I'm about to ask you toss-up questions, just as I did in round 1. The correct answer earns you 10 points, but it also earns you the right at 10 points worth of extra credit. Remember, on extra credit questions, you may consult. I'll accept the answer of the team captain on those. I remind you, however, to consult on extra credit questions only and not on toss-up questions. At the end of the game, if we're in the middle of a toss-up extra credit cycle, we play out the entire cycle before the game is officially over. Good luck. Here we go. After having his first novel repeatedly rejected as depraved and depressing, Bob, North Branch.
Joyce.
Incorrect. After having his first novel repeatedly rejected as depraved and depressing, he paid to have it published in 1893 under the pen name Johnston Smith. What was the real name of the author of Maggie, A Girl of the Streets? Jake, Lapeer East.
Stephen Crane.
That's correct. Lapeer, your extra credit. After anthropologists excavated her 3-million-year-old skeleton in Ethiopia in 1974, they named her for a Beatles song that was playing at the site. Now, some anthropologists think that she may have been a he. Who is this famous fossil?
Lucy.
Lucy is correct. A faithful wife is unjustly accused by her jealous husband, who smothers her with a pillow. What is the Shakespearean play? Chris, North Branch.
Othello.
Othello is correct. North Branch, your extra credit. Before he was 23 years old, he had already composed his Prelude and Fugue in D major and his Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Who was this 18th century composer?
Bach.
Bach is correct. We're looking for 2 names here. One is the Reformation leader who wrote the Institutes of the Christian Religion in the 16th century. The other is the English philosopher who wrote the Leviathan in the 17th century. Chris, North Branch.
Martin Luther and Hobbes.
That's incorrect. We're looking for 2 names here. One is the Reformation leader who wrote the Institutes of the Christian Religion in the 16th century. The other is the English philosopher who wrote the Leviathan, Rachel Lapeer East.
Martin Luther and Locke?
It's incorrect. Calvin and Hobbes is the correct answer.
Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, I know.
Here's your next toss-up, teams. The plain of Sharon and the plain of Zebulun and the plain of Judea are all part of this plain country in the Middle East. What country? Jake, Lapeer East.
Israel?
Israel is correct. Your extra credit, Lapeer. It inspired Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs to build the first Apple. Bill Gates wrote software for it. What was the first personal computer?
Epiphanic.
UNIVAC?
Time's up. It's the Altair. Personal computer. Here's your next toss-up. Jack, Simon, Ralph, and Piggy are four of the Chris, North Branch.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies is correct. North Branch, your extra credit. Robert Weaver was the first black man to hold a presidential cabinet position. He headed this department established by Lyndon Johnson in 1965. What department was it?
The urban housing development. Yeah, housing and development. Wait, is that a... Yes.
Time's up. Housing and Urban Development is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. Strange as it may seem, this planet orbits the sun on its side. Jake, Lapeer East.
Uranus?
That's correct. Herbert Spencer, Emile Durkheim, and Auguste Comte were all pioneers in this field, which attempts to discover the unifying principles of human organization and development. What did Comte call it?
No, it's. Go sociology.
Sociology?
That's correct.
Good. Cool.
This is a toss-up. When it reached from coast to coast in 1861, it put the Pony Express out of business. Jim, North Branch.
The Transcontinental Railroad.
That's incorrect. When it reached from coast to coast, Jake, Lapeer East.
Telegraph?
Telegraph is the correct answer. Your toss-up, Lapeer East, or your extra credit, I'm sorry. In 1926, he successfully launched the world's first liquid fuel rocket. Who was this physicist and father of modern rocketry?
Goddard.
Goddard is correct. In 1519, he explored the coast of Mexico, found Jake, Lapeer East.
Cortez?
Cortez is correct. Your extra credit again. If I wanted to know how fast I was pedaling my exercise bicycle, I might consult this device, which measures the speed of rotation. What device is this?
How fast?
Odometer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Odometer.
Okay, speedometer?
Time's up. Tachometer is the answer I needed. Speed of rotation. Here's your next toss-up. Mathematics is exciting to some people, but that's not why a mathematician uses an exclamation point. Katie, Lapeer East.
Factorial.
Factorial is correct. Lapeer East, your extra credit. Quote, death is now the phoenix's nest and the turtle's loyal breast to eternity doth rest. End quote. Who describes the poetic deaths of the phoenix and the turtle in a long poem written in 1601? Time's up. William Shakespeare is the answer. Here's your toss-up. Designed by the architectural firm of Shreve, Lamb, and Harmon, it opened in 1931. 2 years later, King Kong climbed it. Jim, North Branch.
The Empire State Building.
That's correct. North Branch, your extra credit. It began as a group of farmers' alliances in the 1870s. By 1892, it held a national...
Grange?
That's incorrect. The correct answer there is the Populist Party. Here's your next toss-up. In 1947, it began broadcasts to Iron Curtain countries with U.S. Jake, Lapeer East.
Radio Free Europe?
That's incorrect. In 1947, it began broadcasts to Iron Curtain countries with U.S. radio and television programming to counter communist propaganda. What is this organization? Time's up. Voice of America is the answer. And here's your next toss-up, teams. It is separated from India by the Pak Strait. Jim, North Branch.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is correct. Your extra credit, North Branch. It was designed to be a temple of liberty, including the dome taken from classic Roman temples. What is this building designed by Thornton, Latrobe, Bulfinch, and Walter?
The Capitol building?
That's correct. Your next toss-up. This 19th century German created a scale still in use for Bob, North Branch.
The Beaufort?
Incorrect. This 19th century German created a scale still in use for ranking minerals from 1 to 10 according to their hardness. Name the man and you'll name the scale. Time's up. Friedrich Mohs is the answer. Here's your next toss-up. Accepting the Nobel Prize, he said that, quote, a writer is driven far out past... Bob, North Branch.
Sinclair Lewis?
That's incorrect. I will repeat. Accepting the Nobel Prize, he said that, quote, a writer is driven far out past where he can go, out to where no one can help him, end quote, like an old man in an endless sea. Who said it?
Hemingway?
I'm sorry.
I cannot accept the answer,
sorry.
Katie, because you did not wait to be identified. However, it's a moot point at this point because our game is over. The buzzer has sounded. And congratulations to Lapeer East on being the first of our final four to move on to our semifinal competition. And North Branch, as always, congratulations to you on a great season and good luck to other competitions for you throughout the season. We'll be back with more High School Challenge. I'm Jim Gaver. Nice game. Good season.